National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) and the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons (Naptip) have established licensing teams on both sides to strengthen collaboration in combating the interconnected scourge of human trafficking, drug trafficking, and substance abuse. This renewed effort was the highlight of discussions between the NDLEA chairman and the chief executive officer, Brigadier General Mohammed Mawa, retired, and the Director General of Naptip, Binta Lami Adamu Bello, during a courtesy visit by the latter and her management team to the NDLEA headquarters in Abuja on Friday. Drug trafficking and human trafficking are increasingly interlinked, both locally and globally. Women and children are frequently used as drug couriers. Victims are also drugged and subjected to substance abuse as a means of control when trafficked, she noted. Moreover, both crimes thrive on similar enablers as a porous border, corruption, poverty, weak institutions, and the digital space. Intelligence reports have revealed overlaps in the network operating in both spheres, underscoring the urgent need for a coordinated response. We believe there is great potential for deepened collaboration between Naptip and the NDLEA, she stated. Do you think this can work hand in hand if we look at it? Do you think there's a possibility that the collaboration will actually effectively be will be achieved if they work hand in hand, if that can make sense? Do you think if Naptip and NDLEA work together, there's a possibility that they will achieve their aim as they have stated?
To an extent, I feel, though NDLEA have been trying so far to be able to eradicate drugs in the country. Okay. To an extent, they've been trying to. But one question I've always been asking is, where are they getting these drugs from? That it's circulating around the country. It's something that we should ask about. Where these young people or where these people who sell these drugs, where are they getting them from? Because most of this, it's everywhere. It circulates everywhere. So it's something that NDLEA should first of all tackle where the source of these drugs are coming out from, or where the source of this thing is coming out from, so that they can be able to know how to tackle the issue. Because you cannot tackle an issue when you don't know the source of the issue. So I feel they should invest more time in knowing the source before they will tackle other issues.
Okay, there was a statement that they made that porous border could also be attributed to one of the reasons for this whole drug trafficking and human trafficking situation. Now the question would be, the people at the border, who do they report to? Who actually assigned them to be there? Are they actually doing due process to the work they have been assigned to? Because your question was how do they have access into the country directly, because they have to pass through a border to gain access into the country. So now, like I stated, what's the people that have been placed at that border? Who oversees them? How do they report to? How come these drugs still pass? How come these drugs still have access into the country?
That's why they have to first of all fight the corruption first in those areas, because what's making those drugs having free access to this country is because of corruption. And why human trafficking is happening because of corruption. Because if those people who are there, because they report to the immigration office, which is the immigration officer, the customs. Now, if those people are duly trained and they understand the harms that what they are involving themselves into, or what they are allowed to pass the country is very harmful to the citizen, I don't think they want to do it. Or they want to take any room for, they want to allow any room for justification where they could say, okay, if you have the money, or if you have this to fund it, let's bring it into the country. You understand? So this is why they need to have people who are very educated in such areas like that, to know how to carry out precautions, because this is also affecting the nation at a hand, because most people are running mad every day because of drug. Most people are getting used in different countries for different things, different crime activities, and they still end up blaming it on the country. So it's important that they first of all tackle the source before they even tackle the system. So tackling the source now boils down to them ensuring that people who are in the borders are people who understand the reason why they are there. Do you understand? In most foreign countries, there are people who still fly, who still takes drugs to those foreign countries. But before they even take those drugs to foreign countries, some of them, before they even take those drugs, they might even hide it in something you will never believe that this thing is something like that is here. But there's only an expert that knows that something like this has something that it contains something.
Okay, if I may make a statement, I've seen some news and stories where Ndlea has intercepted most of these drug traffickers at the borders, at the airports and whatnot, on the road, some of them conceal them in baby diaper, shoes,
Yes.
phones and whatnot, the places, even pencils. Places you literally don't imagine that.
Such thing is there.
So I think at some point, yeah, I can say I give them that credit because probably they've improved on the equipment that they use to detect that kind of situation where they can know, okay, this thing is in this. I think there was one I saw in an umbrella or something like that.
Really?
So it is just.
There's one I saw in a grinder. I don't know if you saw that one. Someone imported a grinder, and inside the grinder had all those drugs inside.
So in that instance, and then Naptip on that other hand, there was this time that they raised alarm over this particular hospital in Akwa Ibom State. That particular story really got so much tension, because some people were saying it's going to devalue Akwa Ibom because Naptip said that hospital, they were trafficking persons and they were selling organs and whatnot the situation is. But we do not know the move, what measure they took to stop that hospital and other hospitals from functioning in that situation. So someone will be like, it's not just lip service. Actions should also, get involved. So if they've actually been taking these steps to curb most of this trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking situation, I can say I give them that applaud. But like you said, measures should be taken on
now
that border situation.
Yes. They need to up their game when it comes to people who are standing in those borders. Maybe Ndlea should have a representative there. I believe they should have a representative there.
So don't you think there's a possibility that sometimes they can compromise?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have to tackle the corruption first. That's where sensitization comes in.
Okay.
To make them understand that if this thing has to come into the country, it's going to affect our citizens. Do you understand? So that's why the sensitization has to come in first. Because most of all these people who takes bribery, who invest themselves in corruption, doesn't even know the implication of what they are doing. It might be their child one day, or it might be one of their loved ones. They may not know who is even going to get in touch with those drugs those people are bringing into the country. It might even be their brother, it might even be their child, it might even be someone who is very close to them. Until they understand that someone who is very close to them can be a victim of such thing, it's when it gets better. Because most people don't even know that. Most people may not really feel the pain of others until it gets to them. Go to psychiatric home and see what's happening in psychiatric home. Most people are not mad because of natural cause or maybe other relative activities. It's mainly because of drug abuse. So many people are going mad every day. What is causing them? Most of them might be saying, I'm depressed. Depressed of what exactly? Depressed of something that is not even worth depressed for. So you should see what is, and this is affecting our younger youths, the younger youths today. Most younger youths are not getting themselves involved in drugs and saying this is what makes them better. How you smoking makes you better. What are you thinking? So first of all, this sensitization has to be done first. They have to sensitize the people, sensitize the people who are standing there to understand that this can also come closer to them or can also reach them too. It's not something that they should just sweep under the carpet. They should get more involved so that it will not affect their own loved ones. So this is where the sensitization comes in first of all.
Okay.
Yes.
I actually wanted to ask on an instance where, because they made a statement of women and children being most of the victims of this trafficker, where they make them carriers of those drugs. What do you think will I want to hear from you. Is that move, that push, that makes most of these individuals want to engage in this drug carrying situation. Although in the human trafficking situation, I think it works hand in hand. I think that's why Ndlea and Naptip want to
Yes, it
come
works
because
hand in hand.
yes, they abduct humans,
Yes.
traffic people,
To
and
carry
make them
drugs,
carry their
drugs,
drugs.
yes, yes.
So that can be one situation where they're illegally taken. These children are ill because you can literally somehow not want to detect that a child could be a
No,
drug
definitely.
carrier in that
You shouldn't
instance.
want to
And
detect
imagine a
that.
very pregnant woman that acts like she's really losing her life. You might not want to have that so much attention
To
on her. Yeah. So that can be on the other hand that they can be used
As a means.
without their consent. Most of them are being used without
Yes,
their consent.
definitely.
And the ones that intentionally want to engage in those activities, what do you see? What do you say is the reason why they actually do that?
I feel it's due to the situation of the country, people are suffering, and most times when they see opportunities like that, they want to utilize opportunities like that because there is nobody you will tell that, okay, if you help me transport this to the next place, I'm going to give you so and so amount of money. And to an extent, even you haven't seen such amount of money.
Well, when you know the repercussion, what if you get caught or it busts in your body, or it's being put in a part of your body that is really vital?
Most people believe that there is no harm in risking it. Most people believe so. There is no harm in risking it. But they don't understand that this thing you're helping those people to transport to the next place, one day it could be someone very close to you that might be affected because of this particular thing. Most of them don't even care because there is money involved, and the money is not like a change. It's huge amount of money. For them to even have access to people they can be able to control is to tell you that these people have a lot of money they are ready to spend on transporting these goods from one another. Because for me to even convince a woman who is grown enough to know left and right, to know what is good and bad, to do a transportation like that means there's something I'm actually giving to this particular person that is making her want to succumb to my bid. So I believe that why people are genuinely doing it because one, the situation of the country, people are suffering and people are looking for means where they can make money, quick money. And imagine you're promising somebody that, okay, I'm going to give you 500,000 if you can be able to transport this to this place. And it's even an opportunity for you to even travel, to explore. Most people want to do it. So I think that's the major reason people are getting involved in that. And most people even want to do it so that they can japa. Because someone was probably, okay, no wahala, do this for me and you travel to South country from there, you start up your life. And sometimes it works for them and they start living their life there.
Okay, yeah, Chimene, you talked about the drug trafficking situation, about the curious border, things that should be done, have an Ndlea, intelligence agent,
a representative there.
On the issue of the human trafficking situation, what do you think should be done in that aspect?
There should also be representatives there too, and also see how.
Because you do not know.
No, obviously you do not know. Yes, obviously you do not know. But at that point, or what they should do to ensure they can eradicate such issues, or they can be able to control such issues. So I believe if they're expert, they could know, okay, maybe the way the child looks, or maybe something, maybe, I don't know, but I'm not really an expert in those. But I believe that if experts who have been trained to know these people who are, because as a body, this is an enforcement body, I believe they understand when someone is being trafficked or when someone is being used as a tool. So I think they can know due to the level of intelligence they have. Okay,
that you mean when they are being transported, not from their home?
Yes, when they're being transported.
Okay.
Those people, when they are crossing the borders, they should know that these people are maybe they are being apprehended or something.
Okay, so in that instance, also thorough checks should be necessary.
Yeah, maybe some questions, trying of having a conversation with most of the passengers or most of the people who are passing the borders, so that it will not be like, okay, they're just letting people go. So some of them, they should be interrogated a little and making sure that these people are really your members of your family or members.
A lady told me about something. She said that she will also give the credit to the Nigerian police. I think she said she was traveling to Aba, the other parts of Abia State, and they were out on the road where they were stopped by this stop and search police force. That, there was this woman in the car. It's a commercial bus, and she was carrying a child. I think she had 2 babies with her. Those trafficking situation, they, like you said, they also use kids. So they asked her to calm down. Like, they weren't rude in any kind of, they were polite. Asked her questions about herself and the kids. And she said they were her kids. And then the passenger said that the policeman said, can you call someone that knows that you have these children? Let me talk to the person. He said,
at least even if it's the father.
She said that this policeman asked her, okay, tell me the names of your children. How many children do you have? She said she has 4 children, these 2 and the other 2 at home. So he spoke to the husband, asked the same question, and got same confirmation, in that instance. So they said they applauded that particular policeman in that move that he actually took to make sure that, because sometimes you see some of them will pretend like they're breastfeeding these kids, or they're not, or they're treating them like they're babies, but they're trafficking these children. So many trafficking hubs that have been intercepted by most of the agencies, River States, Ogun State, Delta State. There was this particular one we saw, this little very tender kids that were being trafficked, and it's something that I think more hands needs to just be on deck for that issue.
That's why I said that it's just them that are the experts. For them to have a body, they're actually experts and they understand how this thing works. Just as you've said now, such news like this or such activity like this is a very good means for them identifying people who are being trafficked. Because most people, you can't dictate them. If I carry my sister and be moving on the road, you want to start saying, this person is not your sister. You will not know. It's by natural questioning and trying to have a different where the person is not even there. Probably the sister could be there discussing with someone else, and I can be somewhere else discussing with somebody else. So they can be able to have different information. Now, even if 2 people are having 2 different information about themselves, that is a sign that these people are being trafficked. It's either the lady is trafficking the guy or the guy is trafficking the lady. One person is being trafficked, you understand? Because if people are having 2 conflicting information about themselves, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So this is a means for them to know.